Hello, everybody. I'm Emmanuel de Salis from HEARC, and I will talk as well about one prototyping check we did for the Swiss AI Center. So quickly for the context. So as I said, it's for this prototyping check. And in this case, we collaborated with Tornos. Maybe some of you know this company. They sell big machines to create tools. And the research and development for the check was done by a team from HEARC in Neuchâtel. Just to talk a little bit about the goal of the check. So Tornos have a big team of outliners. So when people buy a machine, if they get some issue and some problems, they will call the outliners and ask questions about the machine. I got this error, I got this problem, this issue, I cannot open the door, what should I do? And for this outliner, it's very complicated because they have to get quickly the information back, and they have a lot of owner manuals and sometimes 100 of PDF, with some of them having some 100 of pages. So it's very complicated to get the right information to help people as quickly as possible, because your clients are a company and losing time is a very complicated subject. So as I said, multiple sources. And one very key point is that the data, those manuals, they are very sensitive. You cannot put them online. You cannot upload them on ChatGPT to ask questions. They really, really wanted to keep them only in the company and never put them outside. So strictly in-house only. And for this use case, it should work in English and French for the first prototyping phase. Next, they want also it to be able to work in Chinese, and they have some other idea for the future. Maybe we can combine that with your discussion before, and maybe we can translate it directly, we'll see. This is the context. Of course, when you see somebody talking about getting information from PDF, we'll talk about RAG architecture. Probably you've all heard of that point a lot during those last 2 days. So just for people being not familiar with it, it's the idea of traditionally you get the query from the user directly into a prompt that some prompt engineer or IT person in your company will adjust, and then the LLM will generate an answer, and there is a response for your query. The difference with a RAG architecture is that you want to add a bit of context into the prompt. So how do you do that? Because you cannot put the whole PDF in your query, in your prompt. So you have to transform the PDF in some kind of vector database, some embedding. And then, depending on the query, you will get some specific part of PDF to answer the query. So there is a whole architecture to have in mind, because you need to get the right chunks from your PDF to each query, and you need to see how do you get them, how do you prepare that. So it's not an easy model. You have a lot of parameters to try and to guess. And just to have an idea of what it means before setting your LLM and afterwards during operation, before you need to choose which PDF or which file you want to process, you want to define a few parameters, so the chunk, the size of the chunk, and how do you cut your chunk, so very specific details you need to try on, choosing your vectorization methods, and of course also the similarity search parameters. So you have a lot of room to play with. You can change a few parameters, try a few different methods, and get what works best. But then during operation, when the query is processed and the similarity search runs, you get those chunks, hopefully the right ones to answer the question. So hopefully your context is ready, and then you generate a response. So what we proposed to do this, since we wanted to work locally, so this is one way of doing it. Of course, you can try a lot of different models. We found that Dolphin 2.2 Mistral is a good LLM to work locally, offline for our use case. There are a lot of them. Usually, we worked with something called Olama, which provide a lot of different LLM you can run locally. So we were really pleased with this combination. You can see the embedding we chose, and of course, the code was done in Python, and the user interface in Streamlit, it was some very basic ID. But okay, all those technology, all those words, what does it look like a little bit? So here you can see one of the version. It's probably a bit small, sorry, but the main idea is that in this case, the outliners needed to choose the machine first. So you can have some interaction between the human and the data. Don't try to make the AI do everything. If you have human knowledge, use it, because it can really help the data. It's AI plus human will do some better job than only AI, and hopefully some better job than only human. Otherwise, it's worthless. But you can choose the language, choose the machine, and then ask a few questions about your machine. So what is the alarm number X? What to do when the door can't close? There is a fire, what should I do? Hopefully you don't ask this question to the outliner. But of course, so we did that around 3 months of work. So it's a rapid prototyping check, so 300 hours on our side. And regarding the results we got, we were really happy with the result, because the outliner were thinking the tool is useful for them. It really depends on the information. So we also highlighted a few issues with the documentation doing this project. So sometimes you realize the data of your company is not as clean as you think it is. So it's also a good insight. Of course, when you talk about RAG and you talk about LLM, it's all about LLM. Everybody talked about the LLM. It's the star of the whole software, but it's not the only step. And you need to consider as well all the other steps. And we saw that the information processing, the retrieval of the information, the embedding, and so on, it's also as important as the choice of the LLM, sometimes even more. So don't only consider the LLM, but there is also the whole pipeline and processing you need to do. It's as important. We got a good reception from the final user, so we put the LLM and access on a laptop, and we gave it to them, and they could work on the tickets using the laptop on the side, and they were happy having like an extra help for their tickets. And for us, we saw that even on some not big machine, and you can get some very good result if you choose an LLM that is adapted for your task. So don't try to use always the bigger LLM. Sometimes a small one do the job as well. And we want to show you a little demo. So the URL are the same as before, so you no need to remember all of it. I cannot show you, of course, the exact demo because it's confidential data, as I said. So what we did is that we developed a small prototype to do something similar to this that all of you can go and try as well on our website. So as well as I did a little video, so hopefully it will start. Yes. Okay, so you see all the services we did. There is one called Document Vectorizer, and in this you can upload a PDF. In this case, I choose my CV because we want to try something. This first service does the vectorization, I said. Here it's very quick. For the demo, I choose something very small, and you get the vectorization. Then on the left side, there is a chatbot. It opens a new page, and you see our chatbot with some details. You can upload your vector store, and then it starts, and then you can ask questions about your PDF. Then I ask, who is Emmanuel de Salis? Of course, I know the answer to the question, but let's try to see the answer from the system. And they said, okay, he's a researcher, an academic with a doctorate, etc., etc. So here you see something very important. I don't know if I can pause the video. Yes. Okay. So oftentimes when you ask those questions, you want to see where did the model get the information in the PDF? Because sometimes the answer is right, but okay, it's right, but is it right because it invents something, or is it right because it found the good information? So in this demo, we also show the chunk, literally the chunk that was retrieved by the system. So you see the sources it used in context to answer the question. So you can see a little bit about the chunk. And here in this case, there is 3 chunks about the system. So this demo, as I said, it's publicly available on our website. So go check it out, vectorize a PDF, and then ask questions about it if you want to see and play with RAG a little bit. So hopefully the next slide will start. Okay, so thank you for your attention. If you want to discuss a bit more about AI, I'm also always available, and hopefully in the panel session we can discuss those details later.